many women, they stop flirting after they get married. But you know what I say? Sometimes we need to speak less and flirt more. Before I jump into the episode, thank you so very much for tuning in. If it's your first time, lady, let me know so I can give you a personal welcome. And as always, welcome back to those ladies who tune in every week, Monday and Thursday. You show up in the comments, you send me DMs, you're a part of the email community, which, lady, why are you not a part of the email community? Yes, ladies, we have such good conversations in the GLC email group. And there are things that I share in the email community that I don't share here on YouTube or on Facebook. So make sure that if you're not a part of the email community, do that ASAP. The link is always down in the description box. And just to be a part of the email group, it's absolutely free.
Hey lady, are you a woman who loves the Lord and who also enjoys beautiful things? Well, if you are, then you are personally invited to join my exclusive Christian women's group. In this group, we chat about clothes, beauty, home decor, parenting, marriage, cooking, and of course, our Christian walk. It's Christian lifestyle all-encompassing. So be sure to join by clicking the link below. I hope to chat with you soon. Now back to our show.
Now, even if you're not married, but you have a desire to be married, this is the episode for you. I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for ways to improve areas of my life that matter most. And my marriage, that's pretty important, okay? So in today's episode, these are just 5 things that I think that we can all employ in our marriages to get the most out of our marriage. Now, let me also preface this by saying, if you and your hubby are having serious problems and concerns, then I want for you to stop this episode and seek professional help. Talk with the Lord about it. Talk to someone in your church about it. If you have big problems, deep-seated issues, while these things can be helpful, that's not the topic for tonight, okay, for this episode. So I just want to say that in case if your marriage needs, a big intervention, these aren't the things for you. However, if that's not you and you just want to, shake things up a bit in your marriage, then this is really going to bless you. And I hope that you can share some of your ideas down below as well. Are you a woman who enjoys beautiful things? 34/5 Lifestyle has lovely, unique accessories for your everyday look and also for those special occasions. Click the link below to check out our latest accessory collection. I thought long and hard if I should start off with this one, if I should tuck it in the middle, or if I put it at the end, because I don't want for you ladies to click off and miss the beauty of all of this information. So what I think I'm going to do is, instead of having this as number 1, no, I think I'm going to put it down to the end, okay? So stay tuned to the very end, because this last little tidbit of information that I'm going to share, it's going to be impactful, and I believe that more women need to hear it. More women, whether you're married or not, need to hear it. And you're going to be blessed if you allow yourself to receive the message. All right. So you have to prep your heart to receive the message. But once you do, you're going to be like, oh, Dr. Sharonda, thank you so much for saying so, because my life has been positively changed. But you only get there, number 1, if you listen to the end. And number 2, if you allow yourself to receive the message. Okay. So let's go on to number 2 on my list, which is now number 1. Lady, you and hubby need to laugh together and still go on dates. Now, social media has made dating your spouse a lot more popular more recently, but it's something that if you are not careful, once kids are in the picture, once a mortgage is in the picture, once, life takes off and careers are in the picture, if you are not careful, you will forget to date your spouse. And I'm not talking about just the weekly runs to the grocery store, which could definitely be a date. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about extravagant, exquisite, expensive experiences. However, you need to also have intentional dates with your spouse, and they can even be at home. I have young children, and it's not always easy for hubby and I to find a babysitter that we trust, that is affordable, that can do the job we need done in the way we want it done with safety, and that our hearts are at ease. So because of that, we do a lot of at-home date nights, but it's intentional. We're not just, oh, you and I on the couch. Okay, I guess we'll just call it date night and watch a movie. Movie date nights are okay as well, but it doesn't allow you and hubby to really connect and talk and share and, just expose your hearts. So dating your spouse and laughing together, really, really important. It doesn't have to be expensive or elaborate. Just this past weekend, hubby and I celebrated 13 years of marriage. Yay! Praise God. And we went out of town and we did like a sip and paint session, and it was so much fun. I know that hubby initially, he was like, okay, I'll do it for you. But by the end of the night, he was so excited. We had such a good time, and just painting together. It was funny because I've never seen him in that way as far as like just handling, painting supplies, and he had never seen me in that way. So it was just so good, but still like just us doing an activity that we have never done before together. Like I've also never seen him in a class setting. And I was like, oh, you would have gotten me in so much trouble talking to me all throughout class if we actually did go to school together. So even that, just creating that new memory together was really special. And we have our paintings to show for it. Which I'll pop up on the screen here so you can check it out. But yeah, we had a great time. Another thing that hubby and I like to do is we like to print off photos. Truth be told, hubby is much better at this than I am. I have lots of photos and videos like hoarded on my electronic devices. He's really good about printing them off. You can easily do it too. Just download either like Shutterfly, Tile Mix, or something like that. But for me, what's easiest and more cost effective is Walgreens. And you just upload your photos. You can choose the number of pictures that you print off, the size, and they usually have a coupon, like a 20% off coupon that you can use. And so it's very cost effective, it's inexpensive, and you have your printout. So what we like to do is we print off the photos, and then we'll get like a big album and we'll just put the photos in the album together, which is really nice because you're remembering all of the experiences that you've had that have just been sitting on your phone. And it's another way to trigger happy memories and to, go and look back and say, oh my gosh, do you remember we took this trip here? Or you remember when the kid did something funny randomly on a Friday night and you laughed together? And it's just such a good way to bond with your husband. You can do that with food present. You can do that, with some music playing. It can be inexpensive, but very impactful in your marriage. So date your husband. That is something that I highly recommend. If you're not doing it, number one, print off your photos on your phone. Number two, put the photo album together with your husband. It's a very inexpensive, but a very intimate date night at home. Everybody knows by now that Dr. Sharonda likes routines. Routines are essential. Routines, however, can become monotonous if you don't shake things up ever so often. Ever so often you want to shake up the routine, especially between you and hubby. I know quite a few people where they and their husbands are like two ships passing in the night. It's like maybe you might give a little kiss here or a high five there, or talk about the kids, talk about the bills, talk about, life in passing, but you don't really spend quality time together because life is hectic. You have things you're doing, he has things he's doing, and you're not even arguing. There's no problem. It's just you're in a routine. You're in a rut. Routines, ruts, very different. Routine is something that's expected, it's dependable, it allows you to be productive, it allows for things to happen when they're supposed to, it's secure. A rut is when you're just kind of going through the motions mindlessly, okay? We don't want to be in ruts. Routines are essential, ruts not so much, okay? Ruts can be detrimental. So if you want to get more out of your marriage, lady, shake things up a bit. What can you do? Look at your routine. I don't know what your routine is right now, but look at your routine and see, are there any ruts? Are there any moments, opportunities where you can add a little sprinkle, a little sparkle? Maybe every night read in bed together. He reads what he's reading, you read what you're reading, you scroll on your phone, he scrolls on his phone, and that's your routine. But what if that's also an opportunity for you to, I don't know, play footsie, all right? Just get some, physical touch happening. He's not used to it. I don't know if you schedule your adult time, but that can even be sometimes a rut. Maybe you want to shake things up, catch him off guard so that he's like, oh, wait, okay, so this is happening now. I mean, it's just another way for the two of you to have a moment, okay? Another thing is, like, again, let's go back to the scrolling in bed. You're scrolling on your phone, he's scrolling on his phone. What if you guys scroll on each other? Like maybe he comes over and you spoon together and you guys are both looking at the tablet together and laughing together, having a moment. It can be something simple like that. It doesn't have to be with a digital device, but if that's your thing, that's your thing. That's what you and he like to do, but do it together. We did that recently. I had my phone out and he was like, what you looking at? So we spooned and hubby was looking and we were just laughing together, just, enjoying the internet together. And it was great because then now we have, like joint remember whens. We have joint reels that we're laughing at. Like, remember that reel? Remember that meme? It's just another way for you to get more out of your marriage. Like, share the laughter, share those little funny things. Yes, we're still sending him videos throughout the day. Yes, he's still sending us videos, right? We all know that spouses, we do that. But what if you enjoy those moments in real time together? That is, I don't know. I feel like that's just, you can easily do that and get more out of your marriage and connect more with hubby. Shake things up. Get creative. It doesn't have to be labor intensive. It doesn't have to be stressful. It can be something that you're excited to do because it's going to add to your marriage and thereby make your life better. Not just hubby's, but your life better as well.
Hey, lady, are you a woman who loves the Lord and who also enjoys beautiful things? Well, if you are, then you are personally invited to join my exclusive Christian women's group. In this group, we chat about clothes, beauty, home decor, parenting, marriage, cooking, and of course, our Christian walk. It's Christian lifestyle all-encompassing. So be sure to join by clicking the link below. I hope to chat with you soon. Now back to our show.
Okay, this is another one that I'm like, I hope they don't click off because this could help you. Ladies, work on yourself. I will also like to add to that. There have been seasons in my life where because I was so unhappy with myself and there were so many things that I wanted to correct within myself that I wasn't even able to receive the love and positivity from my husband within my marriage. If he were to give me a compliment about how I looked, I was so unhappy with how I was treating my own body and what I was or was not doing in a healthy way. I wasn't even able to receive his positive words. So I would quickly deflect and say something negative about myself. And I am still working on that because it's so easy for me to say, oh yeah, but I'm still working on this, or oh, but don't you see this? And he's looking at me like, girl, I don't see it. Like, I see what I see. I love what I see. Thank God that men have that kind of vision, because if men, in my opinion, if men had the critical eye of a woman, yeah, life would be a lot more different, right? In a negative way. So I'm grateful that, my hubby has the eyes that he has. But in that same token, there have been times when I can look back and say, I wasn't even in a place to receive the love he was giving. And, sometimes people think that it has to be due to some massive trauma or hurt or, no, it really was just me not loving certain aspects of myself. And instead of saying, okay, well, Sharonda, you're working on it, he doesn't see those flaws. He doesn't see those problems. He can still show up as a loving husband. Are there things we need to work on? Yes. Is it okay to acknowledge it? Absolutely, because you first have to acknowledge that there's a gap if you're going to close the gap, right? But it should not be to the point where it prevents us from receiving love, affection, intimacy, not just physical intimacy, emotional intimacy. We should still be able to show vulnerability, even as we're growing, even as we're working through some of the struggles, postpartum body and, just career things and, parenting struggles, even when we're working through all of those things and realizing that we are imperfect people, we still should be able to receive love and positivity and intimacy from our husband. Because when he's doing it, we want to encourage, like, do more of that. Yes, do more of that. But if you keep on giving him that cold shoulder, chances are one day he's going to turn off that faucet. And then you're going to be like, but wait, what happened? He's like, well, I tried and tried and tried and you weren't receptive. He's going to stop jumping high if that lid is always like, no, no, no. Deflection, negativity, ignoring him, right? Again, I'm not saying all the work is on you, but this is a grown lady chat. This is not a grown man chat. We pray to God that they have their own chats, all right? But this is for us to focus on and for us to think about what can we do to get more out of our marriage. Work on ourselves. Show up as the best version of yourself so that you can receive all the good out of your marriage. Many women, they stop flirting after they get married. But you know what I say? Sometimes we need to speak less and flirt more. You know how you used to flirt. Don't act like you don't know how to do it because it's been so long. You've been booed up, married for over a decade. 13 years in, you can ask my hubby, okay? I'm still flirting. Absolutely. Sometimes as women, we overshare. I know I will overshare with a stranger, not in an unhealthy way, but in a necessity way. Like if it's that time of the month and I'm not certain if, there's been some exposure, I will, tap on the shoulder of a woman who looks like, she understands, she gets it, use discernment. And I'm like, hey, lady, it's that time of the month. Can you check to make sure I'm okay? And I have not ever asked a woman and had her look at me crazy or rude or disrespectful. No, she jumps in line. She understands the assignment and she hops around back and she takes a look and she's like, you're good. Okay, so all I'm saying is, as women, we can overshare. And sometimes your husband, he might not be able to give you what you need in that moment in the oversharing. 13 years in, praise God, hubby has definitely understood that sometimes I just want to talk about it. I don't always want a solution. He does like to fix it because men are natural fixers. They're protectors. Love it. I love that for me. But sometimes though, I just want to talk about it. So I will let hubby know, hey, I just want to talk about this. If you have a solution, save it for tomorrow because I want you to help me. But right now, what would help me most is just you listening. And again, 13 years in, we're at that point where 9 times out of 10, he's going to say, do you want me to help or just listen? Thank you, hubby, for asking. Because even when he asks, I will probably say both. But first, I want you to listen. Allow me just to be in my emotions for a few minutes. And then you can come with your grand plan to save me. And I can receive it. But if you try and save me when all I want to do is talk about it, So anyway, I'm getting off track. What I want to say was, sometimes you need to just flirt with your hubby. Don't bring your problems all the time. You have friends for that, okay? And if you don't have friends for that, I pray to God that you find some friends for that. Yes, my husband is my best friend. But there are certain things that, like I will share with him and I can kind of see it just kind of like go over his head or his eyes gloss over. And he's trying his best to be there, to meet me where I am. But it's just not his thing. He can't really get into it with the fashion things and all. He's just not into it. So instead of just forcing him, which sometimes I do, because if I want to talk to you, we're talking, But sometimes I'm okay, Sharonda, you have another friend for that. You can call your sister. You can call Dawn. You can, what I'm saying? You can talk to other people. Flirt with him instead because that is going to get more out of your marriage. Flirt with him. So say less sometimes and flirt more. And then it adds, a level of like coquettish, like giggly type thing to it. And he is drawn in by you. He now finds you mysterious. That's another thing too. Sometimes when I'm doing something, it could be something mundane. I mean, I could be working on the computer doing something mundane. I could be washing dishes, but he can tell my mind is elsewhere. And he's like, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, wouldn't you like to know? So now he's like, he really does want to know. I have nothing interesting to share, but I'm just acting coquettish. I'm just, a little level of mystique. Be mysterious sometimes. Even 13 years in, 15, 20 years in, there are still areas of you that your husband doesn't know. Trust me, it is going to positively impact your marriage. You will get more out of your marriage. This is it. Are you ready? Ladies, you cannot hinge your happiness on your husband's actions. I said it. I said it. I said it. And I meant what I said. Your happiness cannot be hinged on your husband or his actions. Now, do I expect and should you expect for your husband to do things that make you happy? Absolutely. Should you do things to make your husband happy? Absolutely. I don't just subscribe to happy wife, happy life. I don't want a miserable husband on account of my happiness. No, no, no. I believe that if we are both intentionally working to make each other happy, then we will have a happy life together. Not a perfect life, but a happy life. Happiness is dependent on happenings around you. It's circumstantial. Someone can say, here's $1 million, that makes you happy. And then the government takes 60% of that sucker. Not so happy. You know what I'm saying? So happiness is fluid. It is dependent on the environment. It's dependent on happenings. So we should try to create a happy environment for our spouse, our children, ourselves. Absolutely. But don't hinge your happiness on your hubby because he is a person. He is flawed. He is a human. He is not perfect. He will let you down. He loves the Lord. He loves you. He loves your family. He wants to do well, but he's human. So if you're hinging your happiness on your husband and his actions, you will be let down. Does that mean that he should not try? No. Does that mean that you should not expect it? No. We should still try. We should still expect from one another. But at the end of the day, you need to pursue happiness for yourself. Pursue things outside of your husband that are going to add to the daily sprinkles in your life. There are things that I do that have absolutely nothing to do with my husband that make me happy. Little things, inexpensive things, and sometimes expensive as well, right? Like, I really enjoy coffee. Hubby, he couldn't care less. It is what it is. He drinks it if he needs to stay up. For me, coffee is an experience. It's a moment. So I look for ways to enhance my everyday coffee experience, whether it's a new flavor, whether it's a new frother, whether it is, a cute mug. You might be thinking, that's basic, right? But I'm looking for little things that can sprinkle throughout my life to make it happy on a daily basis. For you, it could be something totally different. Maybe you're a tea drinker and you're looking for different ways to enhance your tea experience every day. Maybe you're a big breakfast person. Hubby, he fasts. So he doesn't care about breakfast, but you like breakfast. Lady, be intentional about the breakfast you create for yourself. Even if nobody else in the family is enjoying your breakfast that you've made, it's for you. Look for little things. Little things. And I'm picking very basic things to share so that you can see it doesn't take a lot. But you need to focus on little things that you can do to improve your happiness. Don't hinge your happiness on the activity of your husband. Should he make you happy? Yes. Is it his responsibility? No. I know. In a good way, not a traumatized, ooh, forget you, I'm not looking to you for that. No, but in a healthy way. Once I truly came to this realization in a healthy way and took the onus of responsibility away from my husband and made it my responsibility, I found that I was far more happy. Does that mean that my husband was falling short? No, because my husband, he does endeavor, thank you God, he does endeavor to make me happy. But he's human. He is flawed. He will make mistakes. I'm human. I'm flawed. What made me happy yesterday might not even tip the scale today. That's not his problem. That's a me thing. So I don't let my job make me happy. Are there happy events? Yes. But I don't look to my job for happiness. I don't look to my bank account for happiness. Are there things in my bank account that can make me happy when I can buy things that make me happy? Yes. But I don't hinge my happiness on that. I take the onus of responsibility, as you should as well. Take the onus of responsibility for your happiness. Make it personal. Now, I have to say this again. I know that I've said this in multiple episodes. Joy is a more permanent thing, and joy comes from the Lord. It should come from the Lord. So there are times when I might not be happy, not be giddy, but I still have joy because I still have a relationship with the Lord. My joy comes from having an intimate relationship with the Lord. Happiness, though, happiness is fluid. It's temporary. What made me happy yesterday might make me sad today. Child, I'm human. I'm a woman, so I just accept it. Instead, focus on what you can do to sprinkle in happiness and happy events into your life. It will make a huge difference. And you can be in a better headspace, have a better attitude, a better mindset. And then when you're already in a good mood, things around you just seem better because you're looking through a lens of happiness. You're looking through a lens of peace of mind. You're looking through a lens of, heightened expectation for good things to happen. You and God, all right? We're still working with God with this, but you and God have created this happiness internally. You've not made it anybody else's responsibility. You're more prone to walk into a room and instead of think like, oh, everybody's looking at me because I look crazy. Everybody's looking at me because I look cute. Now they might be looking at you because you look crazy, but you have already determined in your mind it's because you look cute. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's just your mindset. You get to choose it. I think that is powerful. All right, see ladies, that is it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. And remember, there are new episodes of GLC airing every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to join my email community. We have our GLC face-to-face conference happening in July of next year. I'm working on an awesome speaker lineup. I'm working on the itinerary. It will be in Thomasville, Georgia. So get ready. Put it on your calendar. July 18th through the 20th. Lady, where are you going to be? In Thomasville, Georgia, meeting myself and other women in the GLC community. Until next time, remember, I am Dr. Sharonda Simone, and I will either see you at the top or from the top. You decide. Bye.